Alrighty. Yeah, now, hold on, let me get this all set up. Let me see here. Without you hurting yourself. See what I gotta deal with? Man, I got bit or something. Alright, alright, daddy-daughter reading time. Without you hurting yourself. September 27th, 16. Daughter reading time. And then take this like this. And then we open it up like this. How this goes. Okay. Alrighty then, I think we got it.
What are we having for supper?
Chicken.
Ooh.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Alright, turn this on. Record. Alright. Let's go live. And away we go, boo boo. There we go. 3. Alright, you know how to do it. Okay, you introduce it.
Okay,
First, tell them what's going on. Tell them who we are.
Amillia
Get over here. Sit down. Alright, tell everybody what's going on.
Amillia Badilla teach us Amillia Badilla, and I'm reading it by Peggy Parrish. Parish by pictures by Lynn Sweet.
Okay.
The telephone was ringing. I'm coming, said Amillia Badilla. She answered the phone. Miss Rogers, she said, where are you?
Remember, slow down.
I'm at the airport. Pinewood, said Mrs. Rogers. You don't tell me you were going away, said Amillia Badilla. I'm not, said Mr. Rogers. I'm meeting a new teacher, but her plane is late. That's too bad, said Amillia Badilla. The telephone at the school said out of order. Mrs. Rogers went on. Please go to Mr. Carter's office at the school. Tell him what I said. I'll go right now, said Amillia Badilla. Amillia Badilla got her things. She walked to the school. Where is Mr. Carter's office? She asked. That first door, said a child. Amillia Badilla walked in. Mr. Rogers tried to call you, she said, but your telephone is out of order. I know, said Mr. Carter, but thank goodness you're here. The children are going wild. Miss Lane left a list for today. I'll take you to the room. He handed Amillia Badilla the list. Follow me, he said. They went down the hall. Mr. Carter opened a door.
Remember, whenever you see a period, you need to stop for a second, okay?
Mr. Carter opened the door. Children were all over the place. All right, said Mr. Carter. Quiet, This is your new teacher. Teach me, said Amillia Badilla. But Mr. Carter was gone. She looked at the children. They looked at her. I'm Amillia Badilla, she said. The children giggled. You're nice, said Amillia Badilla. I do like happy children, but we have a lot to do. She held up the list. We must do just what this says, she said. Now, what's first? Amillia Badilla read, Call a roll. She looked puzzled. Call a roll. What roll? She said. Does anybody have a roll? I have, said Peter. Do you get it? Said Amillia Badilla. Peter opened his lunchbox. Here it is, he said. Now I have to call it, said Amillia Badilla. Roll, hey, roll. All right, that takes care of that. The children roared. Amillia Badilla read her list. For goodness sake, she said, listen to this. Sing a song. I never was much of a hand at singing.
Good.
But it says sing a song, so I'll sing. And she did. More, shouted the children. No, said Amillia Badilla. It said a song. I did just that. Ow! Aw, said the children.
Good.
Now it's reading time, said Amillia Badilla. I know about that. I read my cookbook. It tells me just what to do. She held up a book. She said, It is the right one. Yes, said Amillia Badilla.
No. Try again.
It is the right one.
It's in quotes.
It is this, the right one. Yes, said Amanda.
Good job.
Amillia Badilla opened the book and
I declare.
And I declare, she said, this is a good one. Are you ready? Yes, said the children. All right, said Amillia Badilla. It says run, run, run. The children just sat. Amillia Badilla clapped her hands. Run, she said. Run, run, run. Amillia Badilla ran. The children ran after her. Around the room, through the halls, around the block, they ran. Finally, they ran back into the room. Amillia Badilla plopped on her chair. That takes care of run, 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 she said. Your book plum. Your book plum tired me out. Let's see what's next. I hope we don't have to run to do it. She looked at the list. She said, It's science time. Each of you should plant a bulb. Do you know about that?
We plant bulbs here, don't we? But what do you think she's talking about?
Light bulbs? Yes, said Tim. We brought our pots. Where? Where are the bulbs? Said Amillia Badilla. In the top closet, said Rebecca. Miss Lane said so. Amillia Badilla looked and looked. Nothing here but some dried up onions, she said.
Those are the bulbs, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You all go outside, put some soil in your pots. I'll go buy some bulbs. Amillia Badilla went to the store and hurried back. The children were waiting. Here's a bulb for you and you, said Amillia Badilla. She gave everybody a bulb. The children looked surprised. Then they started giggling. But they planted those bulbs. They put the pots on the windows still. Those do look pretty, said Amillia Badilla, and I learned something new. I didn't know you could plant bulbs. Suddenly, the bell rang. What's that for? Said Amillia Badilla. Free time, yelled the children. Good, said Amillia Badilla. The children ran outside. Amillia Badilla sat down to rest. Then free time ended. Back came the children. It's quiet time. Now, said Amillia Badilla, you're supposed to read stories. Each child chooses a book. All was quiet. Why aren't you reading? Said Amillia Badilla. We are, said Ed. I don't hear you, said Amillia Badilla. The children looked at Amillia Badilla. They looked at each other, and Amillia Badilla heard them. All right. I'll be glad when quiet time is over, she said. My ears hurt. Jeff said...
I said nothing. I said nothing. I said nothing.
Jeff said art comes next. That's fun. Amillia Badilla looked at her list. You're right, she said. You must paint pictures now. The children got sheets, the art paper of art paper. What are you doing? Said Amillia Badilla. We're going to paint pictures, said Bud. But how can you? Said Amillia Badilla. There's no pictures. There's no picture to paint. There's no picture to paint. Well, We'll make pictures, said Mary. Oh, no, said Amillia Badilla. This says to paint pictures. You can't paint pictures without a picture to paint. Better find one yourselves. The children ran around the room. No, not a picture was left on the wall, but all the children were painting. Soon the pictures were back on the wall. They sure looked different, said Steve. Said Steve. Yes, said Amillia Badilla. Mr. Carter will be surprised. The children shook their heads. He sure will, said Janet. What's next? Said Jamie. Our play, said Rebecca. We have to practice our play. Practice play, said Amillia Badilla. You mean children have to practice play? School sure has changed since I went. All right, out you go. But Amillia Badilla said the children. No buts, said Amillia Badilla. Let's go. Start playing. Practice that jump rope. Some more, said Amillia Badilla. We can do better than that. Show us, said Janet. And Amillia Badilla did. I can run faster than you, said Amillia Badilla. Show us, said Steve. So Amillia Badilla did. That's Fine, she said. You've practiced long enough. Let's go inside. Let me see what's next, said Amillia Badilla. Here's our problems for today. Yuck, said the children. Jenny. Get your apples, said Amillia Badilla. What's apple? Said Jenny. Amillia Badilla looked puzzled. She said, but it says Jenny has 4 apples. Paul takes 2 away. Paul takes away 2. Oops, said Amillia Badilla. I don't think I was supposed to tell that part. She read the other problems. These all have apples in them. She said, does anybody have apples? The children shook their heads. Then Amillia Badilla had an idea. Let's go to my house, she said. We have lots of apples. Yes, shouted the children. We better leave a note, said Amillia Badilla. She went blackboard.
She went to the blackboard
and wrote, we are at the Rogers house. Then off they went to Roger's backyard. Amillia Badilla got apples. She called some children. There is a problem for each of you, she said. You all have apples. Somebody is going to try to take some away. Are you going to let them? No, shouted the children. Amillia Badilla went to the other children. You are supposed to take away some of their apples, she said. She told each child whom to take from. Can you do that? She said. Sure, said the children. All right, everybody, said Amillia Badilla. Go, children, start after each other. They ran all over the yard.
Doing good.
Amillia Badilla turned and went into the kitchen. She put some of this. She went to the kitchen. She put of this and a lot of that into a big pot. She put the pot on the stove. There, she said, I'll surprise them. Amillia Badilla started out just then. Mr. Rogers started in. What is all this? Said Mr. Rogers. What are these children doing? Math, said Amillia Badilla. Math is Mr. Rogers. Come see, said Amillia Badilla. They went out. That's not fair, Steve, yelled Janet. You hid your apples. I can't take any. That's not fair, Judy shouted. And Andy, you took away all my apples. What in tarnation are they doing here? Said Mr. Rogers. Amillia Badilla read him the problem. That sounds like fun. I'm going to help them, he said. He joined the children. Now, that does beat all, said Amillia Badilla. She went inside. Later, she called everybody, come, all apples on the table. On the table. Apples come from everywhere, Amillia Badilla. Put a stick on each one. Then she dipped them in the pot. Taffy apples, everybody shouted. Right, said Amillia Badilla. Take one and go home. School is out. The children grabbed an apple. They They crowded around Amillia Badilla. Please, please teach us again, each one said. Amillia Badilla said nothing. She looked at the kitchen and shook her head. Mrs. Rogers walked in. Someone was with her. What happened? She said. Where are the children? Home, said Amillia Badilla. Home, said Mrs. Rogers. But is not time. It was for me, said Amillia Badilla.
I think she got tired.
This is Miss Reed, said Mr. Rogers. She is the new teacher. She came to get the children. Then she will have to find them, said Amillia Badilla. I'm plumb tired out. But, said Miss Reed. Miss Reed. More taffy apples, called Mr. Rogers. Taffy apples, said Mrs. Rogers. Come on, Miss Reed. Amillia Badilla put the taffy apples on the table. They all sat down and ate. I'll let you each any time.
I will let you teach.
I will let you teach any time. Anytime, said Miss Reed. If you will make taffy apples, be glad to, said Amillia Badilla. I do love children.
The end. What do you think of that one?
I like that one.
So what do you think she needs to learn to do?
Teach a little bit better.
Or pay attention to what's going on. She's taking words and using the opposite meaning of them, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So when the kids were subtracting apples,
she thought they were taking away apples.
She thought the kids really were supposed to take apples away from each other, didn't she? She's silly, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll tell everybody thank you for listening. We're going to go play now. You all have fun. All right. Tell everybody bye.
Bye.